and welcome everyone to the Reebok Studio Facebook live series. And today it is episode number 29. We have already gone through 29 episodes. And today we will be having two guests. Instead of usually I have one guest and I talk to the guest for an hour. Right now, I have two guests, and this is very unique because they are a father and daughter team. So I'm going to bring on Pee Lynn and her father. Of course, we will talk a little bit about their story and talk a little bit about how they are managing a business together. So that is the interesting part, right? I mean, I'm sure you've heard about family businesses. I'm sure you heard about, father-daughter teams. But today we're going to talk to a real father-daughter team. And we're going to ask them not only questions about how they run their business, but we're also going to talk about things like succession planning. And also, what do they do in their business and how do they do it together? Because Pee Lynn, of course, is set to, let's call it, take over the business. And she will be the one running the business now and into the future. So without much further ado, let's bring on Uncle Khor and Khor Pee Lynn.
Hi, Krista.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
So usually I say that before we get started, I encourage my guests to bring on a book and to introduce a book to them. Because I think besides running a business, I think one of the key things that we all need is knowledge. So knowledge can come in many forms. So knowledge can come in the form of this, which is a live stream where we share knowledge about business and marketing and leadership. But it can also, and usually in the past, comes in a book. So who would like to start first? Uncle Khor, you want to show us your book?
Okay. Well, so I showed the front page of this book. This is the front page of this book. And it's
very seasoned with time, right?
that book looks like
so the title.
Fatal Errors.
The title is 13th error.
Oh, 13.
Okay, and then 13. So how you can avoid them. So this writer is Steve Brown, So there are 13 chapter. Then I like the chapter because it's certain chapter I use it very wisely. So once I highlight it, for example, concentrate on problem rather than the objective. So a lot of leaders or boss always talk about problem, but they forget what is the objective of doing the business. And then they fail to develop people, one of it. And then they fail to train people. Then also they don't set objective or standard. These are few things. In fact, there are 13. 20 years ago, I went for a roadshow around Malaysia with my company's head. Then I bring this book to them on site training, and then I show them, I advise them to buy this book. And then I good response from them. They say, wow, very good. These are the error they have made, and then they rectify it by reading this book. Yeah.
Okay. That is a great introduction to a book which I have never read. Okay. I think that I better start looking for the book also, because I think sometimes the good thing about books is that if you have these classics which really have evergreen knowledge. So I think the knowledge is across decades, across time. So I'm glad to see you have a very dog-eared copy of the book.
Because a good recommendation from Zig Ziglar and this Dennis Weddy, Zig Ziglar, they'll recommend this book. So I feel I must buy it that time.
Okay. Right. Thank you for that recommendation. Now, Pee Lynn, what's your book? Father, daughter, but probably read different things, right? Yeah, I know. It's based on the age, right?
So this is my book. It's The Art of Good Life. So I mean, as and when my father was sharing on his choice of book, I was like, the second generation, it's like their choice is good life. So at first I thought this is a very cliche book, I mean, by looking at the title, but it was this subtitle, okay, Clear Thinking for Business and a Better Life, that caught my attention. And it's very easy to read, a lot of clarity. In fact, there are 52 methods. It's a book about gratitude. So it kind of reflects of my position right now, to feel gratitude. My father has something for me, so I can tap on.
Which we'll be getting into as we go along, right, in this hour.
Yes.
So let me just say a series of welcome to people who have come and joined us. Hi, Yushen, Ashley, Vimy, William, Janet. Hi, Janet. So thank you all for joining us on a Saturday morning. Of course, all of us are locked down. Right? We can't go anywhere, right? So we might as well tune in and watch something that's going to be useful and beneficial, especially if you're running a family business or you intend to, pass on your business to your family members. So, okay, so since both of you have a book, I want to also bring on a book. I didn't tell both of you, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if you can see it. Okay, the Manager's Coaching Toolkit. What's the name of this person? Dr. David Allenby. Okay, so this is a book that I have had on my shelf for a long time. But I never really picked it up until recently. I don't know why. Sometimes when you clean your bookshelf, right, you realize, I have a book I haven't read like a long time. So I think this book was on my shelf for like a couple of years. But I need it now more than ever, because inside they give you very straightforward strategies on how to coach your people. Whether it is people you work with, people who you deal with, how to coach them. Because people come to us with problems, right? I have a problem. I can't solve this. Or I have a personal problem. I don't know what to do with. So inside here, what they do, I think maybe I just quickly, they have dialogue. They have like sample dialogue. And so they have different models that they can explain to you. Like, for instance, they have this thing called goal model, a goal framework. So GOLD. So G stands for, you ask your coachee or you ask your people, what was your goal? O, what was the outcome? L, what did you learn? And D, next time, what will you do differently? So they have various models, frameworks in here, so that as a manager or a coach, you can pick up and say, okay, which one do I need for to talk to my team member or talk to my people and help them solve their problem, but without giving them the answer. So I think a lot of us, I'm sure Uncle Khor and Pee Lynn, right? It's not easy, like you want to give people the answer, right? Sometimes you say, I know the answer, because through experience, we really know how that problem can be solved. But I think sometimes it's not good for our team members or friends or even our family, because they never learn how to solve the problem on their own. And every time they come back to us with the same problem. And every time we solve the problem for them, right? So I think, to me, this one was really good. It doesn't matter whether you're a coach or not, but all of us need the habits of coaching other people so that they can be better in many ways. Okay, so that's done. Okay, so now we get to the real meat of today's show, right? So today I want to briefly ask both of you to introduce yourself and what you both do, so that the people who are watching, I know some of the people who are watching really know both of you well, but some people may not know, and especially people who are watching this on the replay, because there could be people who after this may say, maybe I was sent to my friend. Okay, so they're watching on replay, they don't know who you are. So who would like to start first? Introduce yourself. What do you do? Uncle Khor.
All right.
Uncle Khor.
So if about my business, in fact, we are doing with intangible financial product, whereby everybody needs it from birth to death, D to D. So, and this special product is when you're eligible to buy, you don't need it. But when you need it, you're not eligible to buy. It's a funny thing. Right?
True.
So in my agency, we build a young and responsible advisor to take care of this matter. Yeah, this is what I want to speak. Thank you.
Okay, but Uncle Khor, I want to ask you this question. When you started, right, were you always this passionate about the insurance business?
All right. When I started the business, the first 2.5 years, I'm not successful. That's why I always give a magic number about 642. That means first year I did only 6 cases, second year 4 cases, and third year I only do 2 cases, which I bought a policy for myself and my brother. So in fact, I don't see any opportunity or career prospect in this business until I went for a course, a special course about insurance. Then I realized there's a good career in this business. Then I put myself a 6-month trial, then I quickly come up full time, and until now, 40 over years in this business.
Okay, 40 over years, that's a real long time in this business.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Okay, so now from Pee Lynn's side of the story. So Pee Lynn, you must introduce yourself and see how did you end up in the business.
Yeah, hi everyone, I'm Pee Lynn. So I'm Uncle Khor's daughter. Yeah, my father has already explained what kind of business that we're in. In fact, I think from the day I was born, he already that, I must get her in for my business already because to him, this is one of the best career, unlimited potential, a lot of things that you can, a lot of skill set, management skill set, leadership, customer service. It's a career that can round you up. So, but like any second generation in the insurance industry, I was trying to run away from this initially. So I even bargained to my dad that, hey, let me finish my tertiary first. And then after that, I bargained, hey, let me get some work experience in the real world first. So I went to KL and worked. I went to Intel. However, after working outside for 4 years, I went back to my dad. I asked that, hey, this career still can do. I went back to him, and I remember there are 2 lines that he has said that, and decided to give it a try. So he was telling me that if you follow my steps, in 3 years' time, I will double your current income. In 5 years' time, I will triple your current income. So being a statistics grad, I was using calculator. Oh, okay, this looks promising, but I don't know how.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But okay, then in that case, right? Then I must ask you this other question. Like, what made you so resistant to joining your dad in the business?
Yeah, because he has been successful in this career, and it's just like a teacher's sons or children. If you're in school, they know that, oh, your mother is a teacher, and then they will think, what, of course you'll be scoring. Yeah. So I don't like the kind of feeling that you don't get recognized by your own ability. So I guess I wasn't very confident. I didn't have the confidence. So therefore I proposed to him that, hey, might as well just let me work outside. Let me gain my own experience. Yeah. So that was the reason why I don't want to join. Yeah, I want to do something from my with my own ability.
Okay, so on Uncle Khor's side, what do you do? How did you eventually persuade her after, of course, that statement I'm doubling and tripling your income?
Yeah.
But you always had a dream for your daughter to join you, right?
Yeah, of course, because she's the only one daughter in my family.
Only child.
It's a sole investment. It's a sole investment. So either I do, then it works, or I don't do, then okay. Yeah.
I want to say that in building our business, it's not easy because you see, as an agent, we have to do a lot of business so that we can be promoted. When we promoted, we have to do a lot of things like recruitment, training for our people, and then you got promoted again. Until this time, I already have some sort of empire. So if I don't have any successor, I'm wasted all my energy, So this is why I want to make sure my daughter come into this business. And so when she want to go and work, I tell her one word. So I say, you don't go out work too long. Within 10 years you must come back. And luckily she said, oh, I won't work so long one. Wow, I prayed very hard. So it coming until 3 years plus, I can make already. Yeah.
Also, you just worked out there for about 3 years, 4 years, right? Is it? Pee
4
Lynn?
years. Yeah.
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I volunteered myself and I asked him whether it's worth taking this career path change. I think my dad said another line too, because there are a lot of people is in insurance field already, and I have that kind of doubts. Is it still worth, because so many people are doing? And he said that he is not a graduate, he's not a college graduate, and he can work the career path into this level, let alone that I'm a college graduate and I intend to complete a certificate financial planning. So he said, I'm sure that with this kind of exposure, you're gonna be better than me. So it's a kind of affirmation that makes me decide to take my path here.
Okay. So eventually you did succumb and join your dad in the business lah.
Yeah.
Right.
Wholeheartedly, yes.
Wholeheartedly lah, not because
Yeah.
he persuaded and he cajoled you and asked you like, oh, come join. So okay, so just now Uncle Khor mentioned something very interesting. He said, and I built this empire.
Yeah.
So what does it mean? What does it mean? What are you talking about? You mean empire? Because many of us watching right now probably know that some are basically they are your fans and all that, but some of us are not in the industry, so we don't know what it means. What does it mean when you say empire?
Yeah, empire means we already set up, established this agency, and then in our this company we have this spin-off perpetual benefits, which I can enjoy in the lifetime, So with this, if I pass down to my next gen, they will, easily enjoy it. Of course, they also have to put some effort. You see, that's why I say empire means it's good return
Good income.
of my investment.
It's a
what I
resources
invested.
Yeah.
Resources.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay,
when he said benefit, I was like, enjoy it. No, you need to work hard also.
Yeah. It's not just an automatic pass over to you, huh?
Yeah.
So
It's the resources, it's the database, and it's the people. It's the
team
relationship. Yeah, it's the relationship also. That he has built throughout the years. So I just need to maintain it and maybe upgrade it. So that's what he meant on the empire. Yeah.
Okay, because it sounds very exciting, empire and all that.
The bling bling empire, man. No.
Yeah. So okay, so what happens? Okay, now I'm going to play the devil's advocate. What happened if Pee Lynn say like, no, I'm not joining you? What would have happened then? Is there something like a scenario that you have thought about? Or you're just like, no, not possible. Pee Lynn will eventually come back.
Then there's one option. Actually, we sell our this entire agency to another person. I think which is not so suitable for my choice. Because when I sell to another person for my entire business, which I'm not keen to do that. But we have this option if you want to do so. Yeah.
Okay. So that's worst case scenario lah.
Yeah,
I'll retire completely lah, right? Okay. So for those of you who are watching, if you have any questions about being in the insurance industry, wanting to know more, this is your chance to ask two people who have been in the industry for some time, right? And especially Uncle Khor has been about 40 over years?
43.
43 years, yeah, 43 years. And some of you may not know, but he is also the recruiting ambassador for Great Eastern Life.
Yeah.
And what does that mean, Uncle Khor? What does that mean? What does that mean? From a non-insurance person.
I'm the pioneer recruiter ambassador for the company to go around the company, all branches, to share about how recruitment to be successful, and then how recruitment can help you to maintain and sustain in this business long term. We always say, one man doing sales, you can run very fast, but with a group of people, you can do in long terms. The ambassador is going there to share about how the equipment, the benefit, and the advantage of the equipment.
And this is from someone who said, who talked about 642.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right, but which actually shows,
almost about to leave the industry.
almost about to quit the industry, and then like, wow, now it's like, look at that, you know, in the last 4 decades, you have done really well for yourself. No wonder you wanted your daughter to come in and join the business, so you could actually see a lot of exciting things happening. Okay, so now let's talk about, okay, when you're working with your daughter, I'm sure a lot of people get very scared about working with their family members. Is this, there are good days and there are bad days, right?
Correct.
Just
So
human.
tell us, how does it feel like working with your daughter? And after that, I'm going to ask Pee Lynn, how does it feel like working with your dad? And this is no host bar. This has to be very genuine because people want to know really what feels like to be in a business with your dad. Okay, so Uncle Khor, what does it feel like to be in a business with your daughter, who is like also reading different books from you, doing different things from you? But what does it feel like to be with a different generation?
Yeah, of course, when I started the business, so my daughter's still very young. Then I never think of really can ask her to come in. But when she come into this business, in fact, I try all means to get her in. You know, even I go and buy her one Mini Cooper brand new for her. She also don't want to come in. Then I also scratch my head. Wow, it's so good. Things also cannot come in, but after all, I must thank her. She willingness to join me, and then I see her in working in this multinational company. She's very dedicated to her job. I saw her get a lot of appreciation from the companies, and I see when she come in, actually she can expand my this empire, right? So. But then, of course, when she come in that time, so she's new, so she follow me lah. Whatever I say, whatever I want her to do, she follow. And then come to the times that she also acquire more knowledge than me, you know. In fact, now I also learn from her a lot of things, you know. But you see, like the next gen, they have different idea, you know. Although my things can be applicable, but then the idea from the next gen is more applicable to our young generations. Because this business is an ongoing one. We cannot always stick to the old things. You know, like I always like to say, you cannot fight today war with yesterday weapon. So. When she joined in,
so you must use today's weapon, lah.
Yeah, of course, like this type of things, online things. Wow. At first I said, they're not one, but now I accept it already. The Zoom training, the Facebook online. It's interesting. Yeah.
I'm glad you say that, because not very many the older generation would accept it so willingly. And I think that one of the things I like about what you do, Uncle Khor, is that you're very young at heart. You will try, and you're very curious about the world. You will try anything and everything as long as you feel that it's fun and you can do something with it. You know, that's what I like about your attitude towards life. Yeah.
Thank you.
And now, Pee Lynn, since your dad wanted to bribe you with a Mini Cooper, but didn't manage to, what was that? What does it feel like to work with your dad now after how long have you been in business with him now?
12 years.
12 years. Wow. That's a long time.
Yeah. Imagine at home, I need to face him 24/7 really, and then come to office. Sometimes I also need to talk to him as a boss. But we do have we do have a method to keep our sanity lah. So we like I try not to bring talk work at home and not to talk about family stuff in the office. But sometimes you will eventually talk about it anywhere, anytime. So I was trying at that one point of time that our relationship was quite sour because of a very, very minor stuff. To be honest, I don't remember why we were upset over it. But I just know that the time it's not a very enjoyable moment. So what I did is I set a day with my dad every week at the office to talk about office stuff. So, and then we make it every Saturday night a family event. And it is especially impactful during this lockdown. So we know that every Saturday night I'll be the cook and we'll be enjoying our family moments. So we try to distinguish as possible, but there's no way to have a balance. So we accept the fact that we kind of integrate our personal life and our work life together, and we make the advantage out of it lah. So when we have a problem, I think I'm grateful that my dad is open-minded, and yes, he is young at heart, and he actually set a pre-descendant for us that he learned to swim at age 60, I think. Yeah. So I think this is the kind of role model he's setting in life and at work, that you're never too old to learn something.
Yeah.
So
And
that's
and
how
I think that is a great tip, because I think when you work in a business with your family, there's a tendency to talk about everything, anytime, right? Work, family, personal problems, issues, whatever. So I think that's a really great tip. The other thing I forgot to mention to the audience here, in case you do not know, not only does Pee Lynn work with her father, her mother is also in the same business, right? And her husband too. So they're all of them really in the family. They're all working together, and they're all in this insurance agency business. And so it will be extra layers of complexity, right? With the mother and your husband and everything else. So for me, I think that's also pretty unique lah, in that way, that all of you are working together and trying to like separate things, in a very clean way. Like, let's talk about business, let's talk about family, right? Or when do you merge both together? So for those who are watching, if you have a question, like I said, please feel free to ask in the comments, and I'll put it up for Uncle Khor and Pee Lynn to answer. It doesn't have to be about insurance business. It can be just generally about anything related to what they do, right? So I also want to make it clear that this is not just only ask a question about insurance. If I know questions about insurance, that I cannot ask a question. Anything that you feel that you are still curious about the relationship as a father-daughter team in this industry. The other thing I wanted to ask is, are there any father-daughter teams in the insurance industry, by the way, besides yourself?
Yeah, they are. They are. Father, daughter, father, sons, right?
Okay. Yeah. So there really is some of these patterns going on. So then we want to also know, now that you say that Uncle Khor is transitioning and passing on the business to Pee Lynn, right? How is it working, and what are the steps that you are putting in place to make sure that that happens?
Okay.
Maybe I add on first that so he is still very active in this industry, but throughout the years he had put me through a series of real life battle to get hands on. It's like apprenticeships the real reality show, the apprenticeships under his wing. But he's still very active. I like our stage currently, that we are interdependent, that we know what is our strengths, and then these are the things that I will take care of for him as well, and these are the things that he will take care for me throughout our agency's operations, right, Dad?
In fact, we have a weekly dialogue on every Wednesday. We have a CEO meetup. So, yeah.
So between you and Pee Lynn only?
Yeah.
A very serious CEO meetup.
Yeah.
Okay lah. Sometimes with some pastry lor. Yeah.
Some food lah, must have some food. So it means that there are steps lah. Means you're guiding her and you're teaching her how to run the agency. Am I right? And what are the other things? I mean, other steps if you have any to share with us lah. Because maybe people who are watching, maybe sometimes they think, okay, maybe I want to also pass on business to other people, especially family members. But how do you start that steps? I mean, start doing it proactively, because you can't simply say, okay, right now here's the business, I pass it to you. But the person needs to be able to learn, right? What they need to do. So in your case, it is every Wednesday CEO meetup, right? Am I right, Pee Lynn?
Yeah.
What happens in the CEO meetup? 1 hour. How long is it?
We
sometimes
discuss.
1 hour.
Yeah, maybe. But initially, when she come in, I get her to do the selling job lah. If you want, because in our business, we have to do some selling, so that next time he only understand the selling job, so that he can solve the problem or matter with her subordinate and also my subordinate. So from selling until a certain time, I let her to handle some of the training and this solving problem matter with my subordinate. And then, in fact, gradually now she is more experienced than me to solve my subordinate or her subordinate problem and selling technique. You see, this is how I let her. I give a hand for her to start from scratch and then pick up lah. Yeah.
So it seems to me that both of you are running your own teams, right?
Yeah, true.
Yep.
Running your own teams, and basically, Uncle Khor, of course, you have your own team, and then Pee Lynn, you have your own team lah. So in this case, is it like difficult because you're like two different teams together in one agency, right?
Yeah.
How does that work? I mean, because you're all under the same umbrella of the agency, but you have different groups inside lah.
Yeah, we have different KPI. We have different. I think it's just a different KPI lah. Yeah, I would say. But other than that, we are still under the umbrella of Uncle Khor's team, and the culture, the teaching, the understanding is still under the umbrella of Uncle Khor. So I think Uncle Khor, you may want to add on that the from different stage, that when I'm in the agent, you ask me to do 3S, and then when during the intermediate manager, you ask me to do RTMS and post LCD. Maybe you want to clarify on that. Yeah.
Yeah, let us know what those acronyms stand for, because I have no idea.
Because in our business, we have 3 stages. That means from agent, the job function of the agent is do triple S. So the triple S is selling, servicing, and socializing.
Wow, I like the last part, socializing.
Socializing. Yeah. So when they upgrade to another level, we call it agency manager. Then they have to start do some recruitment and training. So I always say RTMS, not Radio Television Malaysia. So recruit, training, and motivation supervision. So from there, after a few years, normally we want them to, at least for our company wise, they want them at least 3 years, they can be promoted to the highest level, is a group agency manager. So once you are promoted to group manager, your job function is totally different. You're not going to sell anymore. If you want, also can. So your job function is, I always say, POS, POS, and also another one is LCD. So what is POS? POS means planning, You see, when your group is big enough, you must do some planning. Every beginning of the year, we have to do resource planning. And then all is organizing. So resource planning, we have a lot of things discussed, and we how to organize it as is staffing, how delegating who to do it, So the first 3 words, that pause is very important for as an agency manager. So Pee is now is helping me on this part already. The POS, planning, organizing, staffing. Then the latter part of the 3 words is leading, controlling, and directing. Yeah, this is more on leadership and managerial functioning. So because as a leader, we have to lead by good example, like integrity, honesty, all these things. And then directing, we have to be more aggressive in our business so that our follower will, I follow the right people already, So leading, controlling, directing is more on management side.
Okay. So right now is Pee Lynn on that POS and LCD side?
I think she almost acquired the boss of this 6 part of the job. Yeah.
You want to add on,
Right.
Pee Lynn? Anything else?
Yeah, I think I'm lucky enough that my father is healthy and he is still very actively involved. And the timing is just right lah. I'm ready to learn, and he is ready to. He's still very active to guide me. So this is a blessing, I would say. Yeah, we see like maybe there's a lot of family business that by the time the second generation I think I want to involve, but the first generation they either they are not so active anymore, or they are not around anymore. So there is the timing is just right. I'm so ready to learn, and he is ready to pass on the knowledge.
Yeah, and he is ready to teach and teach
Yes.
openly, because there are some people who may not even know how to teach, right? Because teaching is actually a very special skill. Because not just like, okay, tell you what to do. It's actually you have to show and tell and guide and do so many other things, which is something like coaching, right? Like you kind of coach them.
And very compassionate.
Yeah.
I always say that after that I pick up the post LCD. I think my father has a very big heart that he can accept so many kind of different character. Imagine I'm his 10 group agency manager. I cannot imagine throughout the times how many kind of pattern of people, the characters.
He has come across, right?
Yeah, sure. So I think the heart is big. Yeah.
Okay, we'll take a pause here because I saw some questions coming in. So there's one. Okay, so this person. How long it takes to have a better annual income compared to the previous income? I think this person is asking Pee Lynn, right? Or is it Uncle Khor? I don't know. Maybe both of you can answer. How long does it take to have a better annual income? So I guess this one is what happened to Pee Lynn?
I'm still around, but can you get me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with filing. Yeah.
Okay, let me just remove you and put you back again. Okay, it's just me and you out there. So let's see what happens to her, whether she comes back or not. So Uncle Khor, you want to answer this?
I can answer this question. In fact, I do a filing for Pee Lynn because I want to justify that after 3 years, her income is double. I have all the black and white in my filing, and my file is still here. So, and then really after 3 years, her income will be double. And then just now said after 5 years will be triple, but she did it in 4 years to triple the income. Yeah, I have this testimony. Record of her income. It's true. Yeah, without the help of me, because I didn't provide her any basic salary. She start from scratch, zero. Just selling. That's all from her own personal contact and some referral.
Okay. And we are back again. Yes, and we are back again. What happened? There was
I
some
had no
strange
idea, man.
technical glitch there. See, that's the thing about Facebook. I always tell my guests, Facebook Live is unpredictable. Sometimes you have strange things happening. People drop in, drop out, that kind of thing. But it's all good. Thank you.
Yeah.
So now back to you. Your dad has answered a little bit. So now, how long does it take to have a better annual income compared to your previous employment? Pee Lynn?
Yeah, he said that statement, in 3 years time I'll double your income, 5 years time triple. Yeah, that was the statement that got me in. But to be honest, I didn't track after this. So he is the one who kept my statement. Actually, my dad know how much I earn. Even though back then when I'm under employment, every time I get the appraisal letter, I show him, nah, my boss give me this kind of increment. Yeah. So yeah, and then there's one day, I think not reached 2 years, right? Not reached, I think less than that. He was telling me that, hey, I deliver my promise already. I was like, huh? What promise? Then you remember I told you, now your income has already surpassed your Intel back then, how many percentage? So that really takes me, that really gave me the confidence. Yeah. So that's how I got my husband in as well.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about that. How you decided to rope in your own husband after that, who was also working elsewhere, right? And he didn't join you, right?
No.
Okay. Let's talk about the husband story. That would be interesting.
He's gonna hate me. No, I think eventually it's a kind of karma, but because back then my dad brought me with Mini Cooper, I was like, no, I still need to work on the corporate ladder. So in fact, it took me longer than my dad to get my husband in. I think ever since we got married, we talked about, hey, come lah, this is a family business. You need to eventually come and join, and let's help to expand this career. Until on the 8 years, I think that time he was having some, not to say crisis, but at a certain stage of age that you will start to think that, hey, what's the next step? So back then, every time we talk about, hey, you want to come to this career, we will sure quarrel, and he will give a kind of excuses like, I cannot run. I cannot like you talk to people like this. I cannot run. So there's one particular day, and he was asking me, "Hey, what else can I do?" And I was just casually say, "Do insurance, because so far this is the best thing I can do, and I think this is one of the good career that you can start out with, just like this." But this time different from others time. Every time you say cannot run like that, then this time he kept quiet. I was like, eh? He kept quiet. So I was looking at him and said, and then I was telling him that, so do you want to let's start this in January, because that was year end already. I think it was December or November. I said, so how about let's start, let give you a start next year, and then you see how it goes . And surprisingly, he said that, okay, so what kind of document you need for me to do the contract? And that's how he gets started.
And how long ago was that? Since he joined you?
2 years. This is the 3rd year, yeah. I think it was one of his work experience in adjusting firm that he did claims, especially personal accident claims. And then he realized that he managed to speak to the victim's parents, and then he realized that, wow, this insurance is actually beneficial. It's something for the family. Even the person had passed away, but the money is a financial pillar for that family to carry on. In fact, he is one of the beneficial. He benefited from insurance as well because of my father-in-law passed away. And then that's how my mother-in-law managed to raise 3 kids back then, when the kids are just, I think, 9, 10, and 12. Yeah. So it's the true clean his experience that he started not don't reject this career, and then I think now he's enjoying his time here lah. I think so.
We can bring him on and ask him, are you enjoying it? That would be very, very, very cute. You and of course your mom. Okay, let's talk about your mom. Your mom is also in the business. And how does your mom, what's her role in the agency? And this one is quite interesting, right?
Oh yeah. So
Uncle Khor, Uncle Khor answer or Pee Lynn one answer? What's Mrs. Khor's role?
Yeah, in fact, my wife was a nurse before, and then she's very dedicated to her job lah. And then all the doctors, all the patients like her so much. And I was thinking, I must get her to help in my business. Number one, she's so good personality. Number one. Number two, and with a medical background, she can help in my insurance business. Well, I take quite a long time, nearly 18 years to recruit her.
So that's the longest recruitment.
Yeah, but I also use a trick. I said that time just some timing happened. She have some relationship back with the senior. Then she said want to be a parasite. Join me. Whatever salary you get from there, I will pay you. Then he said, like that, okay, join me. So, but he said she won't do selling. I said, never mind, you just take the weighing machine, fill up form for my customer. I said, like that, okay lah. Same pay, just do 2 jobs. Easy. So she followed me then to the field, and then feel that, in fact, some of my customer, they give birth from her hand, because my wife is the mid-delivery.
Yeah, she's a midwife.
So she really,
okay.
So she delivered baby.
So she helped
normally
deliver babies.
Yeah.
I have to deliver baby with a doctor, with a gynae, and then she don't want to get acquainted with all these patients. Some of them very good, very rich. Housewife. She don't want to acquainted until I went out with her. Then they all recognize her. Wow. You come up as an agent, and then they support her very much. So this is how, and then some of the doctor also support her very much. I said, then like that, automatically become my agent.
I think my mom played a vital role in as a claim consultant. I call her the claim consultant because back then the doctor's handwriting is very challenging. And then those medical
That's a nice way to put it. That's a nice way to put it. Cakap ayam, is it?
Yeah, very artistic. And somehow she just can read it and say, it's like this. So this is how you should write the claim forms. So it's a skill set, and it is also how we serve better our clients. That we know because of her working experience in hospital, and she would know that where we do the better healthcare and which doctor, and then also that there are claims that other insurance companies say the agency cannot claim, but we look at the report and say no, this statement is actually eligible for this claim already. So these were the credentials that she had built over the years, and I'm still learning. Yeah. So that back then when Google is not so famous, she was our medical Google.
Yeah. So you see in your team, your family business, I call it family business, you already have the unique contributors. So your mom is the one with the medical knowledge and knows what it takes to do claims, and then now your husband is with you in the business, and then now you're learning and getting guidance from your dad. So I guess it really is a family business. It's truly a family business, except that I didn't bring on your mom and your husband.
Yeah.
So I want to also bring up some comments. Lacey says, we're very proud to be under Uncle Khor. Oh, that's such a nice thing.
That's our team. Yeah. Lacey. Yeah.
And then Vincent, feeling dodging the question.
What?
So you got to take this offline with Vincent, as I do not know. No, she's saying that I think maybe dodging the question as in just now the question about income thing, right? I think I think that's what he meant. Am I right, Vincent? Please say yes if it's the correct one. And then I think
I want to quote the famous statement from this Mehdi Farazadeh. It's an Iranian. I shared it in my post previously. You know, in our industry, some people would like to say, I earn how much. But this Iranian, this Mehdi Farazadeh, the late Mehdi Farazadeh, he said that I never tell people of things that I don't believe. So therefore, I make a lot of money out of this industry, but sometimes I look at the bank account, I don't believe about the amount. So therefore, I'm not going to tell you how much I earn from this industry.
So does it mean that you look at your bank account and you don't believe in the amount you have in your account, and therefore you're not telling us? Is that a good way of telling us?
No, I would just say that everyone has their different life goals. Obviously, working in this field as an insurance agent was not my ambitions. It's definitely not my ambition when I'm small. But this career really helped me to fulfill some of the life goals, some of the important life goals. So, and moreover,
such as.
I think before I was in the industry, my father supported my educations. And then, the Mini Cooper, the first Mini Cooper that he bought.
Which you're still using? Are you not?
He is using right now.
Okay, he's using. So what are you using?
I'm using my own, the one that I bought by myself. Yeah.
Okay.
And that was my
dream
car.
That also tells Vincent, that tells you how much he's making, right?
Yeah. And also house, and also the new office that we have just opened it last month. Yeah.
Okay.
That was one of the key milestones for me.
The office.
Yes.
The office. Okay. I still haven't visited your office yet, so hopefully get to visit soon. We have some comments. I think these are all your fans.
Our friends.
Friends. Okay. And I have a question here. This is interesting. Zimin, if you could turn the time back, what would be the one thing you want to do differently? I guess this question, Zimin, let me have the liberty to ask both Uncle Khor and Pee Lynn. Maybe Uncle Khor start first lah. So let Pee Lynn have some time to think.
Yeah.
If you could turn the time, what would be the one thing you want to do differently?
Of course, I still want to be in this business, because in my business, actually we have no bad debts. You know, our income is not. Ceiling. There's no ceiling of our income, so I still want to be in this business. Yeah.
Okay. Pee Lynn.
And then, all right.
Oh, sorry. Later, you still have some more. Yes, Uncle Khor, go ahead. You still got one more. Yes, sorry.
Actually, I like my job very much now, because in fact, everybody fears three things. The three things is PhD. People ask me what is PhD.
Uncle Khor, I love your acronym. I love your acronym.
Yeah. Poverty. No
poverty.
Money, poverty, and then health. Health problem, and then the last one, death.
Okay.
And then this PhD, only we can, through life insurance, can solve it. Yeah. That's why I like
problems and death. Okay.
Yeah. When you have health problem, you admission to hospital, you need insurance. When death, you have to leave something for your family. So the PhD is, for me, I feel that only life insurance can have it the most. Right.
Okay. Pee Lynn, stop. You got a couple of seconds to think about that while your dad was talking.
Yeah. I want to ask me, turn back time to when? So probably if turn back time to when I'm a child, I'm a kid, I will ask my mom to give me more siblings. So I will have more siblings to get them into this business. And I think it will be more value added.
Grow the family empire, right?
Yeah. But to be honest, I I recognize all the working experience, all the encounters throughout the time. So even though back then sometimes I think that maybe I could have come and joined my father's business earlier, much earlier, because people at my age back then they have gotten the great head start compared to I was 4 years behind. But I think every encounter is meant to teach us something. So I will definitely take this path again, and maybe more involved at the beginning stage.
It means join it when you're much younger.
Earlier.
I would say.
I shouldn't hesitate when my dad first asked me to
enter the industry.
Yeah. But it is only throughout working under people that I started to build self-confidence. Otherwise, if I'm in his organization, people will expect that, you are Uncle Khor's daughter, you are supposed to perform. And I don't think it's fun.
So there's a lot of pressure. I mean, you come in as the founder's daughter, and then you have certain expectations put on you. You're supposed to be the superstar in selling and superstar in.
You're supposed to know this, right? Uncle Khor's daughter, why you don't know?
So I guess that probably is part of why you were hesitant, not so much
true.
You don't want to be, right? Yeah. So one of the things I heard from this conversation is that a lot of people, when they want to join this industry, is that they're always afraid of selling. Right? I think I heard it from your comments also. Even your husband say, I'm not good like you, Pee Lynn, I'm not good at talking. I cannot sell. So is selling the main part of the business, or it's something that everyone has to pick up at one point or another if you're in an industry like this?
Uncle Khor, are you going to take it or not take? Oh, okay. I'm going to take it then.
Actually,
okay. Sorry. Then?
Yeah.
Okay, so I always tell the newcomer, you don't have to be a super salesman. Be a family agent. Because, a lot of people they are very scared of insurance agent. So why not you become an insurance agent? You familiarize all the insurance matter, solve your family problem. Whatever insurance matter, you deal with it with them. There's something. Tell them you don't be a super agent, but then you learn something about life insurance matters and then solve your family problem. And gradually, when you are experienced, become an expert, then you expand in this business. So every family needs the best is one insurance agent to solve all your insurance matters, because a lot of people always scared of insurance agent. They hear you are the agent, they treat you like the ghost, try to avoid you. Why not you join us? When you join us, you gain the knowledge, you benefit your family, you benefit your friend, and also benefit your own pocket. You earn some money for your own self.
I think I would like to add on. It's like there are stages that we call it the 3E stages. 3E.
I love your acronyms. A lot of
it's
things
in the family DNA.
Okay, the 3Es. Tell us about 3Es.
First, you will explore first. You will explore whether, it's common. People are afraid of selling because people don't like to be sold as well. They want to feel like they are making the decision themselves and they are not sold by you. So that's why we encourage our every new recruits that you first explore first, and then you experience and see whether this kind of job scope it's suitable for you, or is it something that you enjoy doing it, or do you find any value outside this positions. And then once you have a firm answer, then you expand the 3E. So the startup cost is very minimal. You need time and you need a license the license, we do it differently here, that we provide courses to Uncle Khor will be the one who teach the new recruits about the basic of insurance to get the license. And then after that, we will have seniors to do a joint field works and a very supportive back-end system there. Yeah. So it's just a matter of experiencing it, because you are afraid because you never experience it. And perhaps previously your own experience with other agents are different. And that's why you have this perception that, oh, insurance agent. So I think the typical one will be Ping Hong. I was telling Krista back then, when we were dating, my friend said that, hey, if you don't like this guy, then you sell him insurance, I'm sure he'll run away one.
That's a really good way to deter guys from dating you, right? Don't like the guy that's like, I'm an insurance agent, and he runs away.
Yeah. So no, he didn't run away. We got married, but he didn't join the industry as well. It's only throughout the time that people see who have a real understanding how this career works, how this job works, and then just give it a try. He also went through the 3 explore, experience, and now expand.
Okay, so if even Ping Hong, the one who says that he's not the one, he doesn't want, suddenly he's also joining you, so it means that he also has seen that it can be done, or it's doable from his point of view. Okay, so we are at the top of the hour. We had 1 hour of conversation, but before we leave, I want to just pull up some comments. There are a lot of all your fans, I think, all these people here who have come to join us. Yeah, so Cash Tan says, Uncle Khor is super dad and good leader. Yes.
Thank you.
Cash, our friend in Klang. Yeah.
Ong Bak Yong, we're proud of you, brother Khor.
Oh, that's our office staff in our staff. Yeah, Grace.
AD. And then Vincent, she just disappeared conveniently. No, she had some device problems just now. She had some device. She had to disappear for a while and come back again. Has some disconnected mic and cam. And then there's Fion Cole. Yeah,
our friend from Sabah. Yeah.
Oh,
she's also another father-daughter conversation.
Also Khor, is it the same like Khor as in but it's different?
Yes. Our under the same ancestor.
Okay. And then there's another lady, Shireen Koo.
Yeah, my friend. Yeah.
Wow, well, you got a lot of friends and fans in this industry. Then there's Melvin.
Yeah.
Melvin,
okay.
Our friend
Melvin.
In the industry.
Andrew
KL.
Mr. Khor Power. Uncle Khor Power.
Yeah.
And then there's another person called Gui Kok Wah.
Uncle Khor, yeah. My neighbor.
And then this person, Colin said, yes, every family needs an insurance.
Yeah, true.
Okay, wait. There's more comments. Let me just pull out so that Elaine says, Pee Lynn mentioned that the one thing she would do differently is joining earlier. Yeah, yes. Joining earlier, right?
Yeah.
And Zidin says, I'm a proud client.
She is in this industry as well in US. She's my friend. She's now an advisor in US. I'm very proud of her as well. Yeah.
And then there's this person, Tammy Chan Hui Ling. Hi, Uncle Khor and Lynn. Okay, then there's a question. Okay. So if I'm in my 40s, is it too late to join the insurance industry?
Uncle Khor.
No.
Who wants to answer?
My wife joined at age 42. Yeah.
Okay. So any age lah. So there's no too late to join as long as you have the energy, enthusiasm, I guess.
Yeah. In fact, your age more senior, the contact is much wider, better.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Because Ping Hong joined. I mean, he doesn't look too young. But
one of yours doesn't look too young.
Probably I need to quite loud tonight. But it's an advantage because you don't. Firstly, you are matured, and we're dealing a financial product, and you are more convincing to the clients. Yeah, and especially with our experience, I think people don't like insurance agents, but eventually people will need to buy an insurance. So they buy from people whom they respect and trust. Therefore, the age is actually an advantage, I would say. Yeah.
And I think Simin says you inspire me. So that's a good one. We have actually one very long one, but I don't know. Okay, this is the last one. Okay, people, I know, I know you're very excited to talk to Uncle Khor and Pee Lynn, but this is the last one, a long one.
Wow.
Oh, really?
So, knowing Pee Lynn for years, and she changed my impression about how an insurance agent will look and act. I rarely see an agent who will brought patients to see doctors, supporting her friends for startup, treat her downline like her own kids, and yet so humbly you have all the reason of achieving where you are today, and understand today why you are so well developed. I think Uncle Khor did a big part. Yes, Uncle Khor, yes. So this is not really a question, but more of a statement. So I had to pull this up because this was like the longest one of all. Thank you, Vimy, for sharing that. And I'm sure that I've also known Pee Lynn and Uncle Khor for a long time.
True.
And and they're very, very nice and kind people. And then, of course, there's more people want to come and claim our clients, okay? From our client, Li Qian. Okay, hi Li Qian. Welcome to the show and for tuning in and watching us. And for those of you who didn't manage to get your questions, or maybe after this you have more questions about the industry. Okay, so where can they find you, please? If you want to connect with both of you.
Pee Lynn better lah, Pee Lynn.
Yeah, I think we are revamping our Uncle Khor website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you can still go to unclekhor.com.
Yeah.
You can go and check it out, and you can read about Uncle Khor's story. I mean, I didn't really dig into his story lah, but he has also a very fascinating story where most people think that insurance is just all the way like that, right? Like all the way up. There's no up and down. So if you go and read Uncle Khor's story, you'll see that he has ups and downs. And I think that is the part where it's the most realistic part of all, right? Everybody shows the ups only. Nobody says the down one. The down is the hardest part to talk about, right? So, but I think one thing I like about Uncle Khor is that you are brave enough to talk about your down times and the not so good times.
How you bounce back.
Yeah, and how you bounce back. So that is true resilience to me. So I think that is really, very resilient. So I'm really, and I want people to go and read that story. So if you're new here or you don't even know his story, if you know him or Pee Lynn and don't know their story, you have to go and read their story, right? So yes, so go to unclekhor.com. And then there is one more person, Uncle
Felix.
Yeah, successful yet humble. Yes, thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us in our show today. Any last words from Pee Lynn and Uncle Khor before we end?
Uncle Khor?
Uncle Khor?
I would like to introduce another book. Tough.
Okay.
Never last tough people do. This is a book that when I am down, I read this book, and then I come back. Yeah.
Who is it? Who is the author?
I forgot the author. Tough time, never last tough people do.
I have the book as well. I don't remember the author. Yeah.
Okay. Don't worry. Go ahead and find out. I'm sure Uncle Google will tell you more. Oh, okay. Right. Elaine, thank you, Uncle Khor, Pee Lynn, for sharing. Yes, thank you. Thank you for the sharing. I wanted it to also be like to talk about the family business, not so much about the insurance industry, but just about your relationship with your dad, how you joined, why you think it's an industry that you're in.
I think to end this, I have one final statement is if you have a family business, I mean, if you are not in the family business and you have your parents have a family business, don't get intimidated by the concept of working with family. It's never that scary. If conflicts happen, it's meant to, you need to find a workaround plan to get consensus, to get better understanding. And the feeling is really priceless, especially when back then, me and my dad, we were fighting on certain team achievements. To be able to be part of the MVP, the most valuable player in my dad's team, I think that is a priceless experience as a daughter. And I really encourage them. I mean, those that if you have a family business, it's not just have to be insurance. Any business, work with your family. They start up with their own blood, sweat, and I'm sure there are some value is worth keep the legacy ongoing.
Okay, Zimin found the answer. Robert Schuller.
Yeah.
Thanks, Zimin. Thanks.
Right, Robert Schuller.
Yeah. And then, wow, the comments are still coming in. So, Colin, great to hear from both of you. Reignite the stronger you. Keep up and see you at the top. Ooh. And Fionn Koo says, great story and power sharing. Proud to be your friend. Stay safe and stay healthy. Yeah, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We have had such a wonderful session. I always find it so refreshing if I can have a genuine conversation with people I bring on. Not so much about, the typical business stuff, but really about the heart and soul of the business, who are the people in the business, which I think matters a lot more these days. Especially we know, right? Especially insurance business, we're talking about the people. We're not even talking about the policies or the kinds of things that you really focus on, but actually it's about the people. So for those of you who feel like this is a great sharing and want to share this out with your friends, please please tag your friends in the comments, or just share the video with them. And then if they want to find out more, they can get to Uncle Khor and Pee Lynn, and find them on Facebook, right? You can also on Facebook, Pee Lynn, find them on Facebook, and make sure that you connect with them either on Facebook or email them and all that, and they'll be happy to share more things with you. Invite them to their office when this MCO is over. We need to have a party there. Okay, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and have a great Saturday. Thank you.
Okay,
Thanks.
bye.
Bye.